and boys, veterans, law enforcement officials, firefighters, EMS personnel, special guests, and all you listening out there in radio land, as this program is being broadcast for the first time live. I'm Ed Miser, past Department Commander of the Disabled American Veterans for the Department of Texas, and currently the local chapter commander for Big Spring O'Neill Copeland Chapter 47. On behalf of the Chapter 47 officers and its members, I welcome you to Big Spring's 5th Annual 9/11 Memorial
Father, I
Day.
thank you that we have the freedom to come and meet today. I want to ask you to bless the families of friends of those that lost their lives 10 years ago. I pray that you would comfort them and lift them up. I pray that you'd be with the families of those that have lost loved ones in serving overseas in the defense of our
Please
country.
remain standing for the presentation of the colors. Big Spring Police Department will present the colors.
Left face. Present arms.
Mayor Tommy Duncan will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Forward arms. Forward march.
Randy Nagamauer was born in St. Louis, Missouri, December 24th, 1949. I just gave her age away. Graduated from Coronado High School in Lubbock, Texas. Graduated from Texas Tech University in Lubbock, Texas. Randy was raised and spent most of his life in West Texas. He married his high school sweetheart, Dana, and they have 2 sons, 2 daughters-in-laws, and 3 grandsons. Randy has 32 years of business experience in which he gained a clear understanding of the difficulties of small businesses. And Randy's public service is guided by his stated Christian faith. And I understand that I think his wife must be a pretty good cook. Not just from looking at Randy, but on his webpage, there's a recipe on his webpage from his wife's grandmother, Monty Collins, and it's titled The Italian Cream Cake. And as I was reading, I gained 5 pounds just reading the ingredients of that thing. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, representing us from our 19th Congressional District in Texas, please make welcome Congressman Randy Nagamauer.
Well, Ed's right about one thing. Mrs. Nagamauer is a very good cook, and you can tell that by looking at me. And I'm delighted to be here, and what a special day in our country. I think when we talk about 9/11, we don't really have to offer a lot of explanation to most of us. We have some youngsters here who we need to make sure in the future that they understand the meaning of 9/11, and almost everybody will remember where they were on 9/11 and what they were doing when they found out that, in fact, America was under attack. It was, and I know that in the last few days we've had a lot of the news agencies have been running that footage over and over and over again. And I don't know about you, but it's still hard for me to believe that that happened in our country. It was a bad day. It was a hard day. It was people's emotions were mad. They were afraid. They were hurt. It was a day full of emotions. But on that same day, we got to witness heroes as we watched our first responders try and go and minimize the casualties in that terrible event. And so as people were rushing out of the buildings, our first responders were rushing in the building. And I think one of the things that was the good thing that came from 9/11 was that America, I think, had the opportunity to gain a new appreciation for men and women that wear a little bit different uniform every day on our behalf, and that's the people that are our police officers and our firefighters and our EMS people, and all of those people that we count on a daily basis to make our lives a little better, to keep us a little safer, to keep our property a little safer. And I think particularly, I had an opportunity to do an interview the other day, and I was talking about our volunteer firefighters around the region and the sense of community that we get because we've kind of been busy with those fires, and particularly our volunteer firefighters have been, and that we come together, and when one community's having a fire that's a little bit bigger than they can handle, well, chief, they come together. And so, today on 9/11, I think really is a great day to celebrate, stop, and reflect on the events of 9/11, the heroes that emerged from that. But also it's a time of remembrance, remembering those people that lost loved ones. For a lot of stories that we heard of, some people got the last hug, maybe the last kiss, or the last phone call that day from that loved one. It's a reminder we don't know what day that may be our last day, and so obviously it's an encouragement for all of us to make sure that we make every day count in our lives. But also I think it is a time of renewal of our conviction that we will keep America safe, and that those men and women that put on the uniform of our military every day, that have done that in the past, that are doing that today, that we also reflect on them. I wonder, you've heard me say this before, and I really mean it. This service to our community, these Samaritans, this is a team sport, and it's the families of our soldiers, of our first responders, that support their desires to serve our country and our community in that way. And they do that with sacrifice as well. And so what I'd like to do right now, if you are a family member or a first responder or one of our military folks, both current and past, would you just stand up and let us appreciate your part in this as well? Just stand up, our family members, our first responders, and our military folks. It's always important for that fighter to keep his guard up, and because you don't want that lucky punch to take you out. But what happened, I think, on 9/11 is we had our guard down just a little bit on that day. And we had a punch. And it knocked us down, but it didn't knock us out. And America came back, we got back up on our feet, really with a new amount of energy and dedication, both to come back from this in a strong way, not to let these thugs and terrorists destroy the American values and the American way of life. And we got back up and we said, you know what, we won't let that happen again. And so subsequent to that, I'm very proud, our military and our intelligence community and everybody, our law enforcement, and all of our people around the country that we depend on have done a great job of keeping America safe. And so they may have knocked down our buildings, but they didn't knock down America. And so to our first responders today, all across the country and all across Big Spring, Texas, and across the 19th Congressional District, we say thank you for your distinguished service, for helping making our community better and our country better. And to those who have served in the military, we say thank you. To those that are serving today, we say thank you, and we pray for you. And for these folks that we honor here, we thank them for paying the ultimate sacrifice, but more importantly, we thank their families, and our prayers and thoughts go out to them as well. So America got knocked down, but we didn't get knocked out. We're a great country. It's great to be here. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.
friends were gone. I'd worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. I thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, Detroit down to Houston, New York to LA. There's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'm gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'm gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Thank you.
It was the bell that signaled the start of duty, and through the days and nights, each alarm was sounded by a bell. It called the firefighters to fight fires and place their lives in jeopardy for the good of their fellow men. When the fire was out and the alarm had been completed, it was the bell that signaled its end. We see strong words and symbols that give us a better understanding of our feelings when we experience a loss. And we use these symbols and words to reflect that devotion our brothers had for their duties. The sounding of the bell, a special signal of 5 rings, 3 times each, represented the end of their duties and that they were returning to quarters. At this time, we will now pay tribute to the 343 members of the Fire Department of New York who gave their lives to save civilian victims on September 11, 2001 at the World Trade Center. Honor guard. Attention. Foot. After the undraping, we will honor each fallen military with one ring of the bell.